Hey, it's Neva at timeforinvesting.com, and today I want to talk with you about what to say when people call in to your number and you're new and you're wondering like what questions you need to ask to get this from a lead to an actual customer. Okay, so what I usually do in the beginning, the first things first, is just to say, of course, hello and, whatever your company name is and, state who's speaking. So I'll say, hi, this is Neva Williamson with All Above Realty. How can I help you, right? And usually the first question I usually want to ask them is, how did you hear about me? Because that helps me with my marketing and it will help you with your marketing because, if people are, if it's postcards, yellow letters, whatever you're doing, or signs, social media, whatever it is, you want to know like where these people are coming from, so to do more of that because you want to do more of what people actually respond to, which is and they're responding is basically people calling you. Okay, so do that, and then I wrote down that some questions that you definitely want to ask because there are two things you're trying to accomplish in the call. One is that you need to collect information so that you can go back and make up your offer or provide different solutions and options for this property owner to pick. And then two, you want to convince them to also work with you over other investors that are out there. Okay, so this is what I have. Let's see. Okay, right. Could you tell me where you saw my ad? And introduce yourself and say your name. And then I usually say this. I say, okay, this consultation, because that's what I call it. That first call, I say that I offer a free consultation. So I say, okay, our consultations are confidential and totally free. I just have a few questions for you to get the ball rolling. So I just say that because it's just easy. It just sounds very conversational, and people just say, okay. So these are the questions I wrote down that I usually ask, that you definitely need to ask. Why are they selling the property? Because you need to know the reason or what their motivation is. You need to know, what is the property address? How soon are you looking to move? Does it need any repairs? And when you ask them those questions for the repairs, you want to ask about repairs several times in different ways. This is what I have found to be effective because when you first say, okay, does it need any repairs? More than likely they're going to say no, or they're going to say just minor repairs. So what I'll do, I'll say something like, does it need any repairs? And depending on what they say, I'll say, if you were to move back into the property, because usually my callers are landlords, they're absentee owners. I'll say, if you were to move back into the property, what would you fix? What would you repair? What would you update? And so I'll write that down. Then I ask again, when was the last time the kitchen was updated and when was the last time the bathrooms were updated? So that has just been, and those are the reason why is because just from doing this over years, that question on repairs, people are trying to get the highest price for their house, and so they think initially a lot of times not to tell you that the house needs a lot of repairs. So that's why you end up having to ask in several different ways to get the information that you need, because you're trying to get as much information about the property before you even go out to the property, because you want to minimize running around, so you're trying to get as much information over the phone so that you can say, okay, is this even a deal? Is this something that I can work with, or do I need to refer this to a realtor or something like that? Okay, so you're going to do that, and then you're going to ask them, how much do you owe on a property? What are the monthly payments? Are you behind on those payments? If so, by how many payments are you behind? And then you want to ask them, if we can close in 7 days and pay all cash, what is the lowest that you will accept for the property? Okay. And so that's usually about, and then I try to definitely go through all those questions, and then I try to then give them an opportunity to talk, to tell them, tell me any stories or anything that they just might want to tell me that I haven't thought of. Sometimes, you want to find out too if they own the property just by themselves, like how many people are on the deed. Are there other people on the deed? and things like that. So kind of let them talk too a little bit. Don't be the, just asking questions, dot, dot, dot. Let them talk, because a lot of times they will provide you information that, each property is unique, a unique situation, and they'll be able to provide you really vital information